Rat. There's rats here?
No.
There's not.
There's not.
There's no umpires up there?
No. But we've got an update on what we think the rat is.
So before you tell what you've discovered, for everyone who doesn't know, for the last month maybe, during our record, we hear something pretty much sounds like it's fallen over and dropped and a big thud hits the ceiling, which we've assumed was just a huge rat. And you're telling me it's not a rat?
It's not a rat. Behind those lockers, I didn't know this. This is how much attention I pay when I come to work, is the post box.
Oh, it's mail.
It's mail. Literally just behind those lockers.
Yeah, right. So it's not rats.
No.
Well, I thought bloody Stephen Quartermain was up there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Dan Does Footy podcast. You can find more of Dan Does Footy on the website, Spotify, YouTube and social media. Lids off. See ya.
There was heaps of sick kids and I was like, where are they? Kick him harder. Kick him all harder. Punch him in the face. I'm bloody horizontally challenged, if you get what I mean. Boner. Oh, tough crowd today. Should we say this is the line? If you don't hear the next bit, it's over the line? Okay, so if you don't hear the next bit, I've got over the line. Who's just walked past Punt Road? Who dips him? Hey, welcome back to a huge preview. Round 11 football. Where has the year gone? We're halfway through the season already, and it is desperate times, and desperate times call for desperate measures. If you're a team that's outside the 8, if you're a footy fan, you are probably stressing hardcore. Each week means something right now. We have a lot to get through, but Ollie, let's start off with how are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, at one point there when you said desperate times call for desperate measures, I thought you were going to come straight to me, which would have hurt.
Yes, it would have.
But no, I'm good. I'm feeling great. I'm excited.
Good.
Life's good.
I guess there's no easy way really to lube each other up here and let's just go in hard and raw.
Just enter.
We have some feedback for you. Now, the first things we need to get to you are that you're not nice to Freo fans. That's what people are saying in the DMs. And Adelaide fans. We know how you feel about Adelaide.
Yeah, well, Adelaide and I have made up.
You don't?
We're
have
good.
You?
Well, I'm good with them.
They're not good with you still.
Okay, well, there's not much more I can do for them.
What do you have against Freo fans? What's people? That's the thing. The message you're portraying to people on the pod.
Don't have anything against Fremantle
Have you said
fans.
anything negative about them?
Not that I can think of.
I feel like I've said a lot of negative stuff. I feel like that's definitely me. No, I haven't said anything negative. I just said they're a boring team, which I think we can all agree they are boring.
Try and put their opposition to sleep.
Literally, yeah. Okay, so you're fine. Now, Paddy Dow, last week you said how good was it to see Paddy Dow? He was just really good. Someone pointed out that he was actually not really good because he had 2 touches after halftime.
Right, well, he had 14 or 15 before halftime and a sneaky goal.
Okay.
And he hasn't played all season. And when did he last play for Carlton? Did he play the back end of the season?
Back end.
I mean, it's a pretty decent return to AFL football in new colours.
True.
So I stand by every word.
So the next one is time to stop DMing celebrities and just DM some random people, some listeners.
Okay.
So I don't know how we should do this. Should we it's like a little golden egg you can give people and someone's like, I've got the golden egg.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, it's a lot of effort for you and then you start a conversation with a random.
Do I have to continue the conversation?
Well, I feel like you when you fly out your DMs after 2 rosés and some chicken wings, I feel like you expect nothing to come back. This would be very different because something will come back to you.
Yeah.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah. Why don't I just send you've been texted?
Texter. Yes. Love that. I forgot your nickname was Texter.
Can I tell the most embarrassing story that happened a couple of weeks ago to do with this show and I didn't tell you?
Oh my God, I have another story after yours. Yeah, go.
Right, this is great. I'm actually pretty low-key embarrassed about this.
And if you are, given everything we know about you, it means it's embarrassing.
It's pretty bad. Okay. So, I've done lots of media before, but this has probably been the time where I've had a little bit more attention than other times, okay? So I'm going to put my hand up and say I'm adjusting to this new world.
Eyeballs and ears are on you.
Yeah, true. Someone commented on a YouTube video of ours and he was pretty aggressive. Like it was we love a bit of banter, but he was actively...
Freo fan or Adelaide fan?
He was an Adelaide fan.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm going to hurt you. And
whoa,
yeah, I was pretty disappointed. But anyway, I couldn't let it go. I went on his YouTube channel and I did my best sleuthing possible. Managed to find his work.
Oh my God.
Managed to find his family name, then tracked it down to his brother who was a wrestler or something in Adelaide, found the only guy with that name that follows Dan Does Footy. I found him, essentially.
Oh, my God.
I inboxed him and said, hey, mate, it's all love here. It's all good, but I just don't appreciate that. He responded with, I've got absolutely no idea what you're talking about. I think you've got the wrong guy. And I just didn't respond. I went, oh, no. So I have actually DM'd a listener.
But you got it completely wrong.
I just
such
attacked
an
this
effort.
poor. Yeah.
So it must have really... Okay, we're going to assume death threat.
Yeah, it wasn't far off.
Okay, so that just got on your skin.
Yeah, it just sat with me.
To your credit, I get that now that your world has changed and you are a rock star. And, lining up for stuff, don't need to anymore.
No way.
Straight past, good tickets to the footy, which you yet to get, but...
Yeah, we're yet to get, but yeah, it just didn't sit with me right. But I do apologise to this guy on Instagram who I just imagine that you've just randomly got. Oh,
who's this? So I get that
So, yeah.
first, that now this is all new for you. Those
Yeah.
things get under your skin. There will be a time where everything is just numb to you.
yeah.
Like, mate, nothing. I don't think there's anything out there that anyone could say that would get under my skin.
Really?
Yeah, I honestly don't. I've had a thought because after when Carlton lose, there's a lot of comments like that are it's all good fun. We love ruffling feathers. It's all like that kind of jovial, fun, poke and prod stuff, and that's fine to me. The main one that comes through now is just like Collingwood fans talking about what happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, sure.
So there's nothing really that I think would ever rattle me anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Not one thing.
It's just when it's new, I think.
It's a world of hurt coming.
And you go, oh,
Yeah, that hurts. I'm not used to that.
yeah.
Comes to the territory, man. How's this? This might hurt as well. Question from Trav to you. How does it feel knowing that you'll probably die without ever seeing a Saints premiership?
I don't know, but Jesus.
You really copped some heat here, early.
That's just all I want to do is love. Look, I don't think it's probable, but in the event that happens, I'll be pretty devastated. I mean, I don't know what to say.
It's crossed my mind a fair bit, especially probably the last month for the Carlton.
But I don't think that's true. I think you will absolutely.
I don't know. Each week takes a little bit of my soul.
Yeah, I get that, but you've got a team in their DNA of success. Like it's just that's
Mate,
that's
they
the
need to
fear with St Kilda,
fucking
right?
harden up is what they need to do. They need to get me down there and inspire the boys. I'm fucking over it.
Well, that's true.
It's just get me in there, Vossi, just to eyeball them and say, this is just what we're doing and what we've become is just an absolute shadow of ourselves from late 2023. We're just shadows. We are literally shadows out there.
It's scary times, isn't it?
I don't know what's going to happen this week. We've got the Suns in the Gorringe Cup. Big game. Big game. The boys, they
How are
find
you
something
feeling?
for this game.
Do you feel torn at all?
Well, not really. My heart does lie with the Blues, even though I spend most of the time with the Suns. So I think, there are always going to be, have I made the right choice here going for the Suns?
Yeah.
They're now in the 8. And it's good to have two teams because I can jump a bandwagon pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you know one thing about me, I love jumping a bandwagon, but I really do support the Blues. But also, it's good having the Suns in the back pocket pocket. Fuck me. Beep that out.
That one, that slipped out, didn't it? The back packet. And do you reckon you could even tap into your childhood of the Crows if they start to do really well? Or is that probably a bit too far gone?
That's a bit too far.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably a bit too far. But I know you just spoke about tapping back into things that happened. Weirdly, you bring that up because I keep doing that lately a lot at night. In particular. So at night at the moment, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I sit there and just think about like random things I used to do and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what was I thinking? I'm sure we all do.
Yeah.
At one point, like whether on the way to work or late at night, you're just by yourself, you're like, what the actual fuck was I thinking? So we know that I spoke about the condom practice and how mum found the 24 that I was just sickly putting on and off to practice and then also cutting my hair at the same time. And she found like this fucking room full of condoms and hair and thought I was a mass murderer who was just rooting.
I mean, it's the only possible outcome.
Literally. Kissing practice, I've spoken about before.
Yep.
Like when you first are getting into kissing, you want to make sure you're doing the right thing. So in the shower or against a wall, the way your head comes in, do you use tongue, lips? Did you do that?
Nah, I didn't do that.
Okay, so that's just me.
Yeah.
The one I thought about last night, which is so fucked and just weird as, and I'm actually, the older I get, the more I understand that I'm just a weirdo. And now all the stuff I did as a kid has probably shaped me into the weirdo that I am.
Sure.
All my friends were like growing up quicker than I was and they were getting taller and growing like hair, facial hair, body hair. And like, they'd be like, oh yeah, I've got pubes. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? Like, oh, I got like hair on my balls and stuff. And they'd be like, oh, that's pretty weird. what I would do, because wasn't developed as quickly as they would. I didn't have the hair down there.
Right.
As I was cutting my hair, I'd cut like a chunk of hair and like stick it to my.
Are you lying?
I'd get the glue roll-ons.
Yeah.
Glue.
Just a glue stick.
Why would I do that?
Hang on. And then show people? Or just have it prepared in the event that they went, oh, show me then.
I was just like, I can't picture ever having pubes. And maybe I'm not going to get pubes. They had pubes. I didn't. I was like, well, if I don't get pubes, let's just see what this thing looks like. So I glued my nuts, cut some hair and like sprinkle.
And then what? Just look at yourself and go, oh, that's what it...
I know I didn't shower straight away, so I must have just sat in it for a couple of hours and then just... the next day when I showered for school, it'll just come off.
And also just gluing things to your work at school and there's just a couple of little bits of hair on your
Joz,
paper.
can I borrow your glue stick? I would not recommend. Nah, don't have one actually. How fuck's that? How weird. And it's not even like... I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like that's just... something you'd normally do. It just is like I was a weird kid.
Yeah, it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Am I the weirdest kid that's ever grown up?
You're almost certainly not.
Because I'm not weird now. Like I don't do anything weird at the moment. I don't do that anymore. Like I haven't done it in at least 3 days. But back then I think some stuff happened to me where I was like, okay, I got to explore what's happening with my body right now.
It's definitely shaped you.
Well, has it? For the better or worse? I don't know.
I can't confirm.
Hey, you know what life is, guys? Life is literally you just float along life and you figure shit out as you go.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something going on. Everyone has to figure out stuff at their own pace.
Yeah.
So, did you do anything weird remotely?
Yeah. It's given me so much anxiety. I can think of heaps, but the only ones that I can think of right off the top of my head were when I first started to get facial hair. I felt a little bit like you with my hair, so I was a little bit behind a couple of guys when it came to facial hair, but I remember distinctly in about grade 10 or 11 when it started to feel a little bit stubbly on my top lip. That was the only bit, right? So my top lip felt a bit stubbly. For some reason, I could only feel it when I'd kind of lick. Like it just felt really sharp on my tongue.
Like sandpaper?
Yeah, it felt like sandpaper. Yeah. And that's true. But when, with my mates, when we'd go, how's your facial hair coming along? I'm like, mate, I'm telling you, you can't see it, but I can feel it. I was like, I don't know how to tell you, but if you lick it, you'll be able to feel it.
So you and your mates would lick each other's top lips. That is fucking weirder than my balls and glue.
Just go, oh yeah, nice. Yeah, you're definitely going through puberty.
That's weirder than mine. You and your mates licking each other's top lips to see if you had facial hair. I thought mine was weird. That's weirder.
Yeah.
Tazzy.
Yeah, we did some good. And then I had a massive, I worked at the Hobart Cinema. So I had first dibs on all the posters. I had a massive Glee poster. Do you remember the show Glee?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, 'cause I thought I was in Glee, essentially.
Kid.
Like theatre kid, music theatre, but also soccer, footy, all of that. And it was of just sort of Quinn Fabray, one of the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And when I was going through my big high school breakup, I used to talk to the poster as practice for like what I'd say for the breakup.
Oh, fucking
How bad's that? It's just like...
Can people actually like send in? I want to start this new segment. We're not very good on segments here. We start them, then we forget about them. But if you've ever done something weird as a kid growing up, please send them in. I want to know. Because there'd be so better. Many. Yeah, just to make me feel better. And for you now, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
Because that's really weird.
Which one's worse? The top lip thing?
I want to know. What do you guys think? Yeah. Is Ollie's top lip licking his mate's top lips weirder than me sticking
I didn't lick other people's top lips.
They licked your top lip.
I just been they're like, I don't believe you.
Fair enough.
Go on then.
Fair enough. Bit of footy stuff. Start off light, lube each other up, then we'll get into it. Commentator ladder. I want to do there's a ladder of the teams, but I want to see where we're positioned in terms of commentary teams and who's up there and probably who's in the bottom. Like it. So I've done my top 5 that I like, and then I've also done a bottom 5 which I really it's almost mute the TV territory. So my top 5: Matt Hill.
Yep.
Obviously. Adam Papalia. Very, very good. Lee Montagna. Good operator. Dwayne Russell. Now Dwayne, because I think he knows what he's doing. Not scripted, but he's got a call for everything, and also drinks 2 litres of milk in the commentary box. Do you know that?
Yeah, I've seen a few.
If you haven't
clips,
seen this
it's
thing,
bizarre.
he literally sits there, not with a water or a can of Coke and lollies, like a full 2-litre jug of milk and drinks it during his calls, whether it's TV or radio. And fifth for me is David King. Now, some people can say don't have David King in there because he's, a bit like controversial and says some big things, but his actual takes on the game are very good. My bottom 5, which I don't want to deal with, and when they come on, it actually makes my viewing experience a lot worse. BT, Kelly, Derm, Luke Darcy, and Jared Healy. Anytime those guys are on, she's going on mute.
What's interesting about the bottom 5 is most of those are all on the main actual coverage. And your favourites kind of get either random games or radio.
Yeah, I feel like the Channel 7 commentary team is in some dire straits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really struggle with the Channel 7. And then you put it on to KO, but then KO, you're actually 10 seconds behind.
Yeah.
And in the close games that are happening at the moment, I don't know what's going on. And when it does happen, I'm 10 seconds behind, and then I'm 10 seconds behind to tell everyone what's happened. And it's just a lot. So that's where I'm at.
I love that
With the team. Anyone that you love at the moment, Ollie?
Jack Heverin.
Jack Heverin.
For Triple M.
Okay.
Love what Isaac Smith is doing as well.
Oh, funny you mentioned Triple M. What was that?
Nope. No reason. Isaac Smith is doing some really good stuff as well.
Yeah, he's disrupting the game, Isaac.
And the only one, can I just give him a bit of love? Lee Montagna is actually exceptional because not too many players go, all right, I'm going to actually do play-by-play. And I really, really respect that about him. And he's also done some NBL. So, he's really gone, all right, I see a future in this industry.
He's very good.
But he's not just going to be special comments like so many other footy players will do.
And the other
So
players that
I
have
love
done
that.
special comments, they're very good. Joel Selwood is very good at it. Who else is doing special comments at the moment?
I think Jack Revolt pops
You know
up.
what? Revolt's actually okay.
You don't mind him?
No, I don't mind him. I think he does something. I got time for him.
You got time? I think Danger's done a little bit.
He doesn't like our show. Did you hear what he said?
No, what did he say?
He didn't call us like expert analysis because we said something the other day. Someone brought it to my attention. And
No.
he had a pot shot at us.
What on?
Some shit show he's on 3AW or something like that. Yeah, he had a go at us at our show and how we're not like, we don't have expert opinions or something like that.
Well,
Danger, shut up, man. So high tens are back. We brought the high tens back big time. We spoke about it last episode. Everyone's giving high tens in the crowd. Wherever you are, you see them. I want to bring something back that I haven't seen in a long time. I'm thinking maybe my fondest memories of this is in the 90s, early 2000s.
okay.
Bring the grass throw back on set shots, even at Marvel Stadium.
That's so good.
I want to see
for it.
No need for it at Marvel, but I want to see a play. If any players listening to this are at Marvel this week, I want to see a grass throw back. Marvel would be unreal because there's no need for it, but I want to see it come back.
Dan, that's the best thing you've said in the 27 shows that we've done. I love that.
Have you not seen one in ages? When's the last time you saw a genuine grass throw?
I can't remember, but I don't think that there was a kid that I went to school with that played footy that wouldn't copy Matt Lloyd. Like after
That's where it started as well.
Like
Lloydie
he was
doing
he was the main offender for the grass throw.
Lloydie. Nothing better than being like, I'm not sure what the wind's doing. Oh, yep, left to right.
Yeah, and still
Just
miss.
the aura. It's like LeBron tossing the chalk up. It's like that. Bring it back.
Dan, that is so good.
Yeah, I want to see that come back. So if we can bring anything back, I really would like to see that come back.
Yeah,
big
that's
time.
beautiful. And with the high
lads.
tens, can I just say I love whenever I go on Instagram and I go on Dan Does Footy and have a look at the story. Let's bring it back this weekend even more. Like
In numbers?
I want to go on Dan Does Footy's story
To have high tens
and
everywhere.
it's just off its head.
Yeah. Do you see that one of the team? There was a team did high tens on the way back in the change room.
Brilliant.
A lot of high tens. So well done to everyone out there. Big news as well in the footy world of food and drinks in Perth. They're doing butter chicken on hot chips. Now, we know the curries in Adelaide. What else do we have around the grounds that we thought was
Well,
weird?
chin chin,
Chin chin.
oysters, obviously.
Butter chicken on the hot chips there.
Okay, so I'm just trying to think. That's sort of like in England they'll do a Chinese takeaway. They'll do a little bit of that. So they'll do like hot chips, but then just a curry sauce.
At games?
No, they do different things at games. They do like Bovril and stuff. But
That's a new one. That's a whisper from
think I
Ethan.
like it.
I don't know if it's true. Ethan whispered that to us. I'm not sure. He could be having us on, but I saw that.
all I know is if you're watching Harley Reid stiff arm someone and you've got a little bit of butter chicken and chips in your tummy.
I'd have a bit of fucking butter in my pants watching him.
Yeah, life can't get much
You know
better
what I
than
mean?
that.
Yeah, real butter in my jocks.
Do you want to talk about that?
No. Okay, let's get into serious stuff. I need to have event here. 2020. What are your memories of that?
It was a tough year.
Tough year. Real tough, Ollie. Tough for everyone. Pandemic that hopefully we never see again. Hopefully our kids, when we have kids, they never have to see it again because it was generally the worst time of our lives. No one enjoyed it. Everything sucked. You couldn't see anyone. You couldn't go anywhere. We had the footy, and the footy is what got us through. It was great. It was good. But then they took some of the footy away from us. They said, hey, we'll give you a product, but we're only going to play 16-minute quarters. And it stunk. It was a stinky product. Then we had games where it was 47 to 46, 30 to 29. There was no comebacks at three-quarter time. There were just horrible games. But we said, thank you for the footy. We never want to see it again. Leave that. Take that with COVID and say, see you later. The AFLPA are saying, we want to bring it back. And 2 buys. 16-minute quarters and 2 buys. AFLPA, stop what you're doing. Leave it alone. Now, we know that you guys are concerned about a lot of injuries. There's 150 people on the injury list right now. We've got ACLs happening all the time. We get that there's a lot of stuff happening. There's carnage everywhere. But also, leave it alone. With no one, and I'm telling you, no one wants 16-minute quarters. The COVID games were so poor in terms of product of footy that we were getting. And by the time that you watched a game of footy, it was gone. You start a game and then all of a sudden it's half time and there's nothing happening after three-quarter time because there wasn't enough time in the last quarter for someone to come back. Leave it alone. Just don't do that. I don't want to see that come back. So if the AFL are going to change anything in the game, change whatever you want, but leave the length of the quarters alone.
Yeah. Do they really think that that'll stop injuries? I mean, soft tissue, I guess, but it's not going to stop, the big injuries that we're seeing down to collisions and things like that. So I really don't see.
They can't change it, surely.
No.
Just change the length of the rounds, like the length of the season. I feel like it is a long season. Now, some people want the season to go longer.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
More footy, bring it on, in my opinion.
Another thing we need to come back with the grass, though, bring State of Origin football back. Is this time for that? Yeah, I know people are concerned about injuries, but just bring back State of Origin football. Imagine seeing like a Harley Reid play for Victoria right now. With all like the gun superstars, and then he could just be so much better given he'd be around the best players.
I think
just for a game.
We might have talked about it, but All-Star game, yes or no?
See, I feel like the All-Star game, you'd need divisions, East and West.
Yeah.
East. Never eat soggy West boots. Okay. You'd have to do divisions with it. Because if you do State of Origin, you're leaving out so many players that aren't from the particular state. So I don't know how you would do it. Maybe you just split.
You could do a sort of diagonal line that covers West Australia, SA, and then maybe up to Queensland.
True.
You could kind of do it like that, and then the rest get New South Wales, Victoria.
Unless you do 2 captains and the captains pick their team.
Love it.
Out of every
like
one
the
of the
NBA.
comp. Yeah. Because you have a real rogue pick.
Yeah.
Like Lloyd Meek. Actually, he'd be decent. It wouldn't be that rogue.
Yeah, it's not that rogue.
No, it isn't. But like someone who just wouldn't be in the team ever gets in.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, AFLPA, leave the game alone. This is pretty cool. NFL and Vic government are in talks to host an NFL season game at the MCG. Now, you're wearing the NFL top. The
That's
Vikings.
weird that you put that in there.
Yeah. You don't even follow the NFL?
What?
You said you don't 2 weeks ago.
That's a massive lie.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
No, I'm a massive fan.
Who for?
Minnesota Vikings.
That makes sense. You're in the top. The MCG, in conjunction with the Victorian government, is exploring the possibility of bringing a regular season game to the MCG. Discussions are in the early stage, but the LA Rams are slated to host given their presence in Australia already and the direct flights between LA and Melbourne. It is understood the NFL is only keen to play at the very best stadiums, which of course is the MCG. It will be played between October 2025 and Feb 2026. That's very cool. If we get that here, now we're talking.
It's a no-brainer. It works really well when they play at Wembley or the Spurs Stadium in London. They play a couple of games a year and it works well. The only thing is that, so say, for example, if the Rams play probably, it'll be a West Coast team. So let's say they play San Francisco. I'll go, but I'll be wearing Vikings gear. And so when I've been to the games in London, it's just a sea of fans. Like it's no one's home game. It's weird. So maybe pre-season's better. Do you know what I mean?
So it's my worst nightmare. Going to a game, like if it was a game here of AFL and then you go to it and there's a lot of random Guernseys there that aren't of either team, I don't like that.
Oh, it's like every second person.
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
It's very cool, but it doesn't, and it's always a home game for a team. You know, so you got your MC, you got your lights, your colour, all that sort of stuff. But it's not. It's just not
In London.
in London.
Yeah, right. I'd love to see the NFL here. It'd be very cool. It'd
be so
Mate,
cool.
we're not far off taking our game over there
Yeah.
to America. I still reckon we're a couple of years away from just taking a game to LA and saying this is round one.
Yeah.
But we've talked about before, the ovals don't work.
No.
But there's no oval there that would obviously be somewhere you could host it.
No, I'm trying to think. Like they play it recreationally, so there are ovals, but not like there's no stadium.
Nah, it wouldn't work. Oh, well, that's cool. Hope they bring it here. It'd be very cool. This is big news. Now, Luke Parker is going to miss 6 weeks. Everyone is in absolute uproar about this. It's a quarter of a season for what essentially is a 1%er back in the day, like blocking his teammate to have a bit more of a clear path. I understand that the Frankston guy has a broken jaw, and obviously we wish him all the best and a speedy recovery, but 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Is that where we're at? Like, surely the game we're better than that. I did the first reaction test on it. What's your first reaction when you see it? And I went, oh, too much.
Okay.
I thought 4.
Well, the footage obviously, it's difficult to, it's not as good as when you get to watch back an AFL, collision, right? Okay, look, this is what it's built for, right? Jimmy Webster's incident.
Thug.
Righto. You compare it because it was a similar action, right? Like it's a high hip and shoulder. Not as bad?
Nah. Jimmy's was late. Jimmy's was clearly, like, this is somewhat in the play. Like,
so if a ball's in the area, you can do whatever you want yourself.
well, there was the 5 metre area of if a teammate has a ball, you can actually block and shepherd him. Anything outside of that is going to get called for, don't know what it's called, but something. But I don't like where the game is going. I think a lot of people are on the same page. The game is going into a dangerous territory where we're going to have 10-week ban soon.
Yeah.
Like, there's no... If that Frankston player had got up, is it 6 weeks?
Probably
Is it any
not.
weeks?
Wow.
And that's the issue right there.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know.
No, exactly.
And that's so if that was a totally different situation, then it's probably not the 6 weeks he got. My thing with it is that, are we going to now sanction and give player suspensions on the action, or is it the consequences of an action? Which is it? It seems to me after that, and I know it was the VFL, but if you cause injury to a player, you are getting a harsher penalty as opposed to if that player had gotten up and it's all good. The Zach Fisher one is probably a perfect example of that. So now Harry Jones is going to miss a week for his tackle on Fish, where Fish just got up straight away and it was fine. They didn't like the action of it. But if Fish had been knocked out cold, that's 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's difficult to sanction as well, though, because other players' bodies are built completely differently, right? So, like, there's a fair chance in a certain tackle,
True. Well,
you're more susceptible, or
you say Fish messaged me saying, look, probably didn't help that I was 75 kilos.
there you go.
And I said, Fish, you okay? He's like, man, I was so fine. Like, it was all good. So, like, wake the fuck up, AFL.
Yeah.
Like, let's fix it. Like, this is just like, everyone's frustrated by it. I'm sure they're frustrated by it as well. The game has come so far. Barry Hall got 7 weeks for knocking Brent Staker out.
Yeah.
So that today would be
Jeez,
25
that's a great
weeks.
barometer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about there.
Yeah.
Wow.
7 weeks ago. I just don't know. Nothing. It's actually frustrating now when you watch a game of football and you see a tackle and you're like, it's so bad because I know that's a week.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be a week.
You're just waiting for it, are you?
Yeah, you're just waiting for a
here we
week.
go. Okay.
They don't help themselves. They don't sell themselves. Harry Jones. Now, they didn't appeal this one-match ban for his tackle on Zach Fisher. Now, if you haven't seen it and you're not up to date, it was pretty much essentially what we would call a chase-down tackle last year, where he just got him, flung him. You make your own mind on it. I didn't think it was a week. The club spent 2 hours in the morning of the verdict day discussing, look, should we appeal this or not? Obviously said, no, there's nothing in this. So I don't like it. I only like it for one reason. It leaves the door open for an 18-year-old man who was 193 centimetres and picked 10 back in the draft last year. Took screamers for fun in his first preseason. It's time, Nate Caddy. Play him. Play him, Essendon.
Yep.
Bring him in. We want to see what he's got. He excites me, this guy. He'll play at the G as well against Richmond. You'd hope so, fingers crossed. Going to get an easy introduction to football. Pretty much playing the bye.
Yeah.
Great. I think it's a no-brainer. Just play him.
Yeah, why wouldn't
Get him
you?
in front of 90,000. Say, hey, you're gonna play on a bloke who we don't know where he's come from, probably the VFL of some sort. Go and have 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Ease your way into AFL football. I think that's a no-brainer for them. Get the confidence up.
Isn't it crazy looking at where Essendon are at now that now it's a discussion of people that can't get in to the side in lots of different positions.
Crazy.
It's wild.
It's good. I know. It's good. Stringing contract as well. See what happened?
No?
He's going to go with a 2-year deal. He's happy with 2 years. He said, I wanted 3, but you know what? I'm happy with 2. I'll
He's
take
a
my
team
2.
player.
He is. I'll tell you what he's not, actually. No, we'll save it for the next segment. Dusty, 300th game plan has gone to shit. So the Tigers had this plans like, let's manage you so you can play your 300th at the MCG. You've done so much here on this ground. It's only right that we get a crowd here for you and we crown you as potentially one of the best players who've ever played the game. Mm-hmm. Because they can't even field a fucking team at the moment, that plan of managing him and resting him has turned to shit because he has to play. And now it looks like his 300th will be in Adelaide, which is horrible. I love this next bit that he said, look, there's a lot of media around this 300th thing.
Yep.
I'm not doing any media. No. I don't do media. That's not my thing. You should know that by now. I'll do one photo with 5 other Richmond Tigers who've played 300 games, and then I'm out. No more. I love that attitude. Love that attitude.
How many games is he on? I'm just trying to figure out when that game in Adelaide would be.
What would he be on? I don't know. Look it up. It'd be close. 296, I reckon.
It'd be 296, you reckon? Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that. But very close. Very, very close. I'm still big. He's out of there at the end of the year. The great man.
Yeah.
I think it's getting more and more, not obvious, but likely.
Isn't it? Can I just say on his media, it is so cool to have one of the most iconic and best players of the generation who just
Refuses.
refuses.
I'm not doing it.
Flat out.
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's like the biggest enigma.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was very buddy as well towards the end, but he was like, I'm not doing media. I'm done. I moved out of Melbourne to get away from you guys.
I genuinely think if you played a clip in my headphones right now, 5 different guys speaking, I don't think I'd know which one Buddy Franklin was. I think I'd know Dusty because he's just the way he speaks, his cadence, but I don't think I could pick Buddy. That's how
True.
little I've heard him speak.
Yeah, I'm the same. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who I am. Actually, he does know who I am.
Of course he'd know who you are.
No, we had this run in the Crown where he didn't ask really what my name was, but didn't know who I was. You know when you meet someone and you're just like, I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you know what I'm the worst at? And I've figured out, along with a lot of other stuff that I'm working out as a child that's coming back to haunt me, that if I meet someone for the first time and they say, hi, my name is, I'm out. I have no idea what your name is from there. I'm so bad with names.
So what can they do that makes you remember it?
Nothing. They could say, Ollie, in my face a centimetre away. I've got no idea what your name is.
Yeah.
I blank out from, hi, my name is, don't know, no idea.
Is that an issue with, I don't know, is it arrogance? You don't want to listen to them? The moment they want to say something about themselves, you tune out.
Like, oh God, this guy's so selfish. I'm just the worst at it. I'm so bad with names. I'm sure other people, I need a technique to do it. Jake Lever goes in for surgery on a knee, concussed last week. Now, not sure if anaesthetic is good for concussion in a protocol, but they've also said, hey, go have your knee surgery so we can get you out of this thing and ready to go in a couple of weeks' time. Wouldn't have thought that's the best mix.
Well, 2 birds, 1 stone, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But he's out, so that leaves the D's a little bit thin down back. Probably move Petty down back and bring Tomlinson back in. We haven't seen Tomlinson in a long time.
No. He's had a tough run at the D's, really, hasn't he, since moving from the Giants?
Yeah, hasn't gone the way that he probably thought.
No.
Big Tomo.
Feel for him.
Yeah, so you'll probably see that this week. Tattoo watch. Now, we had an absolute landslide of tattoos come in here. So let's address them all. Joey Danaher. Everyone's saying his thigh tat. Looks a bit like he shouldn't have that there.
Yep.
And this is what all these are if you're listening for the first time. Frost at the Hawks has a chest tattoo. Took Miller, upper leg.
I could see that.
Kane Farrell, leg tats. Will Ashcroft has a tattoo that people aren't fond of. I think it's on his bicep. He also, and it's on, it's on my algorithm because I don't know why, but it's there. But he does, I think it's Wash. He does these videos for his like training programs with a flat footy.
Right.
And it just does my nut in.
What annoys you about it?
That is obviously so flat, the football.
Oh, he's not addressing the fact that it's
No,
flat.
he's handballing with someone, but it's
Right.
like, that's just, can you please just pump the ball up?
Yeah.
Stringer ghost tattoo. Have you seen that?
Well, I know he's got quite a chest piece, doesn't he?
He's got this ghost tattoo that
don't think
everyone's
I've
talking
seen the
about.
ghost.
Keep an eye out for that one. Zach
Yeah.
Tui birthmark tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a cover-up.
It's definitely a cover-up.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's that maroon-looking one.
It's a maroon-looking one. Yeah, now
looks
it
like a
could
flower,
mean something sentimental, and
leaf.
if it is something sentimental, we're so sorry, but at the moment we have no information on it. It looks like the tattoo artist like spilled his ink on it, you know? I was like, okay, leave that there. And this one came in so much. Trent Rivers tattoos. Now he's a good-looking man.
I don't know who he is.
Is Trent what? Trent Rivers.
Maybe Dangerfield was right about the expert opinion.
True. Trent Rivers.
No, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. He has tattoos, and people are saying you're just a bit too good-looking for that.
Yeah, he's a bit clean-cut.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bit private
there are your
school.
tattoo watches for this week. Keep sending them in. We'll probably try and get some eyes on these. And a lot of people, when we put this out there, was like, guys, you need to get a new tattoo. I was like, I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put this out there. If Harley Reid gets more than 9 Brownlow votes this year, I'll get a Harley Reid stiff arm tattoo on me.
Dan, he's getting more than 9.
Don't reckon he is. Not at the moment.
Really?
We keep saying he's a player that is just like, does amazing things, but does he do like consistently for the umpire to be like, that's cool?
He's had at least 3 games where he's getting over 2 votes already.
I feel confident that he won't get over 9.
Yeah.
I feel like he is a player that does these things every quarter. It's like, cool, but like,
Yep.
are you consistently having 35 kicking goals? You feel like I'm wrong here?
I feel like you're wrong, but I also feel like maybe you're setting the bar low because you want the tattoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Harley Reid tattoo right there, stiff arming on my balls. So every time I get a little bit of wood, it's like, oh, keep that away from me.
That's great.
Yeah,
No, I really like that. Or you've got the tattoo behind you there, right?
I do.
Let's
You can
do
stiff
it.
arm that.
You could stiff arm him. That'd be a bit of fun.
That's stuck there. Yeah,
Love that.
I think we'll get. I want to reach out to Jason Castagna to do it.
Tattoo, is he an artist?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's gone full. So he went from full tattoo job in the hubs on the boys,
Yep.
to now being a tattooist.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm going to reach out to him and say, hey, do you want to come on the pod and just tattoo us live?
Yeah, I'll get my.
You want a stick man?
I'll get.
Do you
my
want the stick man?
I'd love the stick
All right,
man.
We'll set it up. And in contract news now, we know the AFL media absolutely love the mid-season contracts trade and updates, and this player's moving everywhere. They go absolutely apeshit for it. But Elliot Yeo, now wanted to stay at the Eagles. Found some good form after a couple of years of being really nowhere, not playing much footy. Sees Harley Reid and says, geez, you are inspiring me, young man. I'm going to get back to my best football. Originally wanted to stay at the Eagles, but now he's getting offers from everywhere. Adelaide have a war chest over there. We spoke about the Saints having a war chest. I think Adelaide have some bank because they have offered 3 years, $2.7 million, 1.3 front-ended.
Where's their war chest come from?
I have no idea.
Because St Kilda's is pretty obvious because it was mainly the revolt money.
I have no idea where Adelaide are getting the money from.
No one's really. Yeah.
But who's really demanding the money there at Adelaide?
Well,
Jordan Dawson be on the most.
yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah. Apart from that, Rankin be up there.
Rankin definitely.
Yeah, I think they've drafted good. I think all their young kids are.
That's a bit twitchy.
Yeah, I
if
know.
you're watching, jeepers.
I think they've drafted good, but no one's ready for that big contract yet.
No, that's true.
So they've said to Yo, hey, 1.3 million front ended. Now this is a case where West Coast probably say, we can't offer you that, and maybe just take it. And that does happen in the AFL. Like players get pushed to go. Like we can't offer you that. Please go and find it somewhere. It happened to me my 3rd year, not in that sense that I was offered big money anywhere, but sometimes there's like a thing in clubs where we're probably better off without you being on our list. Now, in my 3rd year at my end of season review, I went into the boardroom, we had a discussion, and then Malcolm Blight was sitting at the end at the boardroom, and I was like, okay, well, that's just the most intimidating thing ever. And he asked me like how I think I was going. Are you happy here? Do you want to go back to Adelaide? And I said, look, I'm a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Do you want to go home?
Well, that's how it kind of went. I said, look, I'm a little bit homesick. I would love to obviously get home more. That'd be ideal, but I'm happy here. Rah, rah. He said to me, I think it's best if you just go to Adelaide and don't come back next year. So I leave this boardroom going to my manager. I'm like, hey, Blighty pretty much told me to leave the club. So what do we do now? He's like, what? Blighty told me to walk out of the club and go back to Adelaide. And this whole shitstorm started where the Gold Coast Suns were calling me. I was like, we are so sorry. Like that, we did not mean that at all. Like, don't take it personally. I was like, oh, 20 years old, so probably taking it a little bit personally. Like crazy. And had to backtrack and had the club to apologise to me to say, we are so sorry for that.
So he was director of coaching. Is that right?
Yeah.
So is that not real? I don't really know how these things work. Is that his position at all
Well,
to be saying that?
Yeah, he's not list manager.
No.
So he's director of the coaches. I don't know why he was in my board meeting, but he sat there after my third season and said, go home. I was like, this is just not on. I think this is pretty much illegal.
That is wild.
Wild. So, yeah, who knows? Back to Adelaide, though, they have a war chest. They try to get after Errol Gordon. They want Yo. They're linked to McCluggage. They can also go after Perryman. And is Oliver still a chance to go somewhere? I don't know.
Who knows?
Crazy. Okay, before we get in the round review, lose by, run by update. So as you know, I put my legs where my mouth is with Gatorade this year. I said, listen here, Gatorade, for every point that Carlton lose this year, lose by, I'll run a kilometre. We've now got to a point where we're at 58 kilometres for the month, which means on Sunday, I'll be running 58 kilometres and my legs aren't conditioned to do that. I'm 110 kilos. Like that's a lot of pounding the pavement. So at the moment, it's 58 points. We have a game to go. I just pray that this thing doesn't blow out on Saturday at 1:45. Because if it gets even 2 goals, I'm in trouble. I'm doing an ultra marathon now.
I was just going to ask, so this game on the weekend counts with
Yeah, this still counts. So if they lose and lose big, I'm in trouble. So stay tuned for that on the weekend, guys. I'm going to try and... So I actually don't know how I'm going to do that. It's best that I've done one marathon. I have taken gels before. I have fueled in the past. I don't enjoy what I put in my body to get through this. Voltaren, that other shit.
I just wonder what happens in the case, like even if Gold Coast win by a goal,
it's a lot of money,
can
mate.
you physically do that?
No. But what you guys don't understand for me is like I've got a fucking dog in me.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like
that is true.
That's what you guys keep forgetting. It's like, oh, it's a lot of kilometres. I don't care. I don't give a shit when I've got an absolute fucking hound in me.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'll get it done. And when I do, it'll be glorious. I'm going to start at 3:30 in the morning. So if I run down Chapel and see a few of you absolute creatures coming out of Revs.
Yeah, if you want. There's a few. Electric, I think, is...
Electric.
Yeah, Revs.
Might see a few, just give you a little
Leonard's
salute.
House of Love.
Just join with me. If you're feeling good, just come with for a stroll.
What a sight that'd be.
Pretty horrible. Now, before we get into things, let's get into the Sportsbet feed bet for this week. Now, there's a few in there, and people are saying, yeah, we didn't have a great week last week. We'll be honest, we didn't.
No.
We lost 2 by the absolute skin of our nose, but we are back this week. We're feeling very, very good about this. So I have for you on Sportsbet in the feed. You can go onto Sportsbet's app, feed, search Dan Gorringe. You can copy this and get on with me. We're going for goal kickers.
Oh, I like it.
Sam Darcy to kick 2 or more.
Yep.
Papley to kick a goal. Luke Jackson to kick a goal. Harry Mackay to kick 2 or more. Jake Stringer to kick 2 or more. Nick Watson, the Wizard, to kick 1. And Jack Higgins to kick a goal. That's our bet for the week. Feeling very confident about that. The only one that does make me nervous is the Wizard. Does have a tendency to make the ball disappear out in the fall.
Yep.
That does make me slightly anxious, but if you want to get on that right at home your weekend, get on there. It's on the feed on Sportsbet. And also, you know what I do in the morning? I wake up, have a vibe. I put one on when I'm on the toilet, and then off we go to the races. So follow us there. Now, football tonight. Now, get prepared for the running too far call to be called flat out this round.
Yep.
We're going to see a lot of it, I reckon. We know what happens.
They listen.
Well, we know what happened. They listen, and we know what happens when the AFL does something random the week before. They start calling a lot to make up for oh no, we've always been calling these. We see straight through it. You're just calling it because your umpires are rats. Okay? Their rat tendencies lived in the roof. Mm-hmm. So get ready for a round full of radicals. Pay holding the ball, for fuck's sake, as well, if umpires are listening. Please call it. We've had enough of it. Football tonight. Dogs $2.42 versus the Swans $1.57. The line is 9.5 at Marvel Stadium at the dog track. Now I'm putting this straight out there off the bat. The Swans have done nothing wrong to deserve this at all, but I've got a vibe. Ooh. Dogs win.
Ooh. They're barking.
Dogs win this. Now I just say that because I think the Dogs match up against the Swans better than anyone. Their midfield is a good battle inside. You probably arm wrestle. You couldn't tip it either way.
Yep, that's fair.
Dogs' forward line is tall. Swans don't have tall defenders. Sam Darcy is big as the goalpost. Good luck stopping him. Aaron Norton, Jamara. The Swans' backline probably doesn't match up well on that. And Liam Jones and Alex Keith are so fucking underrated as defenders, as power defenders. I think they match up really, really well. Now, if you are behind the goals here at the Dogs' end, look out. Keep your eyes up because you are every chance to get a concussion. They are peppering goals. They've kicked 27-41 in the last 2 weeks. So if you sit behind the goals in this game, just make sure your eyeballs are up because there's balls coming in left, right and centre. You don't want to leave the game doing a concussion test.
No. Alert
Crazy.
but not alarmed.
Alert but not alarmed. So they are peppering. And now if they can kick it through the two big ones, that'd be great for the Doggies fans. But they're putting some scores on teams. How is anyone going to beat the Swans, I hear you ask? Slow them down. I have the answer for you. You got to slow them down. Running bounces they love. They had 17 running bounces last week. So you know they want to turn this into a track meet. 17 running bounces is a fucking lot now I think about it.
Do you know what the average is roughly?
Probably 9.
Wow, really?
They had 17 last week. So I know halfway through the season that they're 9-1, but I just feel like it is so hard in this league to stay up and win every game because you're getting teams best every week now. Everyone wants to get you. I just feel like this is a mix where Bevo comes out and says, give me a fucking contract because I'm a dog and I'm a dog owner and I own these dogs and I run this shit. You know?
I'm a dog owner.
I'm a dog owner.
Says
I
I'm
own
alarmed.
fucking 48 dogs. Want to see the kennel? Boys, come out.
Is that not the best graphic in your mind of Bevo and he's just got 48 leads on all of them?
You know what we should do? New pre-game thing. Instead of when the dogs come out from under the race, every player's got a leash on.
Yeah.
And then a collar and a lead and Bevo's walking them out. And they're all crawling. 22 dogs like that. And they're all barking.
I love it.
There. The dogs win.
Okay, well, I'm on my tipping site right now. I was going Sydney, but that was very convincing.
I'll do that here.
How much margin? What are we thinking here? Because for the first game of the round, you do the margin. What do you...
I think the
Big
dogs win
little-
by 17.
I'm going to do exactly 17
Thank
points.
you. Okay. Just on our tipping, you're 54 from 90 and I'm 60 from 90.
I'm not even in the...
No, someone's listened back to our tips when we started
Hang on,
recording them.
say the...
So since we started recording tips on the podcast
Yep.
for the year, I'm 60 from 90 and you're 54 from 90.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's quite close.
I'm a good tipper.
You're good.
Yeah, thanks.
I've tipped a lot of St Kilda games, though, so I think,
Yeah, true,
I think
actually.
that's my problem.
Prime time Friday. Perth won't know what fucking hit it. 8:10 p.m. start in Melbourne is late. Not complaining. It's just a bit late. 6:10 p.m. in Perth. Now, I feel like that's a quick turnaround for people to get to work to the game.
Where I've not been to the stadium, it's in, like, say, if it's Adelaide Oval, it's right there, right? So people can literally just crawl out of work and go straight there. Do you know where we're up to stadium?
Got
is
no
in-
idea. Haven't been there. No.
It does
But
feel quick.
I feel like people would get there like half time.
Yeah.
6:10 p.m. Yeah, early start. But the Dockers at home against the reigning premiers who are finding this year not tough. They're getting into form, but they don't have any forwards. Now, a lot of Pies fans are saying, but it's our VFL team. Shut up. There's a lot of injuries everywhere. The Blues have injuries. Richmond have injuries. It's just a part of the league. So you're rolling out a squad that you just have to cope with and accept. Now, the Dockers are $1.85. The Pies are $2. The line is 1.5. Close game here for Friday Night Football. We have a battle against a team who is just allergic to kicking the ball between the big sticks and a team who doesn't have a forward line. So this thing could be just a point fest and a struggle to kick goals. Freo revenge game. Lockie Schultz. Nah, they'll take it easy on him. I reckon they'll give him a clap and applaud and say thank you so much for coming back.
As if.
They're going to boo the
What
absolute
universe.
shit out of him. The poor bloke's going to absolutely cop it back there in Freo. But Freo are a better team than we give credit for. I know we make fun of how boring they are, but they just...
You make fun of them.
I do. They just win games of football and they're no fuss. They're not exciting. There's no like cool things about them. They're not lightning quick. They don't have like amazing goal kickers. They're not a highlight reel, but they just win games of football. And I think they get them. Mm-hmm. I think Freo win this.
I'm liking Freo for sure.
Yeah. At home on their deck.
Yep.
Yeah, the Purple Army be there. Purple Haze. Saturday. Here we go. It's going to be tough to get through this one. North Melbourne, 8.50 versus Port Adelaide, $9. The line is 41.5 in Tassie. It's going to be cold as shit down there on the 26th largest island in the world. It's going to be cold as shit.
I love it when you drop in a little bit
Yeah.
Remember when we had Leggy on and you went, you're from Belarus, the lungs of Europe.
They are.
And I
Well,
went,
they are.
very good, Dan.
Thank you. 26th largest island on the planet. A season where, like, I feel like we've spoken about Port all year that they haven't been going well, and they've probably had, aesthetically and the way we've spoken about them, a worse season than most teams. They're fourth on the ladder.
Yeah. Well,
Like, that is crazy, they're fourth after everything that we've said about them. Connor Rosier is back in the team after Ken attempted to rip his fucking hamstring off the bone. So it's good to have him back. Now, I think Port do this so easily, and I really, really wanted to pick North because I feel for them, but I have also said that I can't see them winning a game, and I won't pick them for the next 2 years. They've only won 5 quarters this year.
yeah.
Just winning a quarter is good for them. And if they would lose this, they would have lost 12 in a row? 11 in a row. Just fucking keep them down there. Keep them down there, they can merge with Tassie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I want that. I'm going North.
Whoa. Why?
I'm going North. I think that their form in Tassie actually hasn't been that good, admittedly, but they're the only team that know how to play Blunston when they can do it.
Admittedly, their form anywhere hasn't been good as well, though. You know,
I mean, that's true.
like they could play anywhere and it wouldn't be great. You trying to look at their form guide?
No. I'm getting the weather up. It's really cold,
Yeah,
but
12.
no wind.
That's just not great. It's just cold.
But no wind's good because the games I've seen where North have been a sniff, but their kicking hasn't been great because of the wind.
Nah, North
It's
will get the
really-
shit better out of them here.
Righto.
Again, it'll be another one. I don't think they'll win a game all year, unfortunately, for North. Gorringe Cup, big game. Carlton v Gold Coast, Blues $1.42. The Suns are $2.92. The line is 60.5, and this game just means more than the 4 points. It's bigger than that. It's for who gets my love and respect. Now, admittedly, I haven't given the Suns a lot of respect. I've given a lot to the Blues, and they keep annoying me and frustrating me. Bloody, hey Blues, buy me a drink before you fuck me over. Am I right? Yeah, they keep screwing me up a little bit. So if the Blues do lose this, there is panic stations. There we've got some issues. Last week you could look at and say, you know what, went up to Sydney, lost the best team up there. It's not that bad. But if they lose this, it is genuine. Okay, maybe we're not as good as what we think we are. And for the Suns, they're just in form. They still have the blood of the Geelong Cats on their jumpers after what they did last week. An absolute massacre of the Cats. So they're going to be coming into town with a lot of form now. They haven't won a lot away from home, which has always been our massive concern about them. In fact, they are 20 losses and 5 wins since 2022 playing away.
Yeah.
Everything in my heart says the Blues win after not really having any reason to give them that. But I think the Blues win this.
Yeah. I agree. But the pressure's on. Having a look at the ladder as well, if the Doggies win like you think they will leapfrog you.
Great.
If Brisbane win, which I think they will leapfrog you.
Awesome.
Adelaide, who did Adelaide have?
Adelaide have West Coast Sunday, Graveyard.
They will be on the same amount of points as you, but a better percentage. So realistically, if those 3 results go
Those
ways, you could be 13th. So the pressure is on. So I'm back in the baggers in a big way because I don't think they'll let that happen.
They can't let that happen. That's a long way home.
I mean,
That's a hard way home.
St Kilda are in 14th. So you put that into perspective.
Oh, don't want to be anywhere near them. That's gross even being next to them on the ladder.
That's how things could go.
Yeah. That just you saying that made me feel dirty being next to St Kilda on the ladder. It's like, ugh, yuck. Having to look down at them. I want to look down at every other team from the top.
Yeah.
Not St Kilda. All right. Yeah, Blues win, but fuck, it'll be an ugly game. I'm predicting it's an ugly game.
In what way?
I think it's just going to be, I don't think it's going to be flowing at all. I think the Blues will turn it into an absolute scrap.
Yeah, okay.
Contested footy scrap. Matt Rowell in there probably isn't great for that because he's very good contested football. Blues win. I think they do it by 9 points. It'd be a close one.
Ooh, I like it. I'm definitely on the baggers.
GWS travelled to Geelong. Now, both teams here lost 3 in a row. Cannot buy a win. Giants $2.49. The Cats are $1.54. The line is 10.5. And whispers are that the Cats are hitting the Cats boys are hitting the bars pretty hard down there after games. We heard a whisper down there.
Another one.
Yeah.
Go on.
The boys are just, after games, just hitting it hard. Down at the pubs, celebrating, getting ahead of themselves. A Cats fan wrote in saying, I'm a little bit concerned because after the games, I'm finding the boys at the same pubs I'm at.
That is a bit concerning, isn't it?
It's probably not great for your confidence when you go to have a drink after the game and the boys are already there.
Yeah. You've left GMHBA.
Yeah, it's like, I would have thought you would at least have recovery. You
Yeah.
know? Like, you beat me here, which is, I get that, but still, maybe don't do this. So, Hawkins, Cameron, DeConning, Duncan would come back in, and you feel like this is a game that Brad Scott just says to the league, hey, we're the fucking Cats.
Yeah.
We're back, okay? Don't write us off right now, we're the Cats. Was it Chris Scott? No, it's Chris Scott.
Yeah, Chris.
I said Brad Scott. Twins, easy mistake.
Did you say Brad
I
Scott?
said Brad, it's Chris.
It's Chris.
So I feel like Chris will do that. I wonder if Brad or Chris ever swap coaching positions just to fuck with everyone.
I'd love that more than anything in the world. And then Barry gets in as well.
Baz, we love Baz. I'm going to feel that even though the Giants have won their last two at GMHBA, I think the Cats can't lose this down there.
No.
If it was at Marvel or the G, I'd think the Giants would get him. But I think being in Geelong, they know what's up down there.
I agree, but then we saw what Port Adelaide were able to do at GMHBA, and I didn't think at all that they were going to be able to do that. So they're very, very, very beatable there, it seems.
True.
The Giants, they'll be out of the 8 after this
That is
round.
crazy when you say it like that.
They will. Because Melbourne will probably win. Freo could win. Carlton could, yeah. They could be 8
Shit.
for 9. So, but yeah, I reckon Cats.
I think the Cats will get him. Fucking hell. Who the fuck keeps putting Richmond on Saturday night primetime? Like, honestly, just get them off my television. I'm fucking over it. I'm sick of having to sit through a Richmond game and just... Because it's work. I have to watch this shit and I go, oh my God, like if this game's over in the first 5 minutes.
It's the equivalent of a meeting at 5 o'clock on a Friday.
Oh, exactly. I know they're injured, but I don't want to deal with it. It's not my fault. It's not anyone's fault. Richmond fans, I feel for you. You have to sit through this stuff. Richmond, $8.50. The Dons, $7. The line is 44.5, 17th versus 2nd. This has got bloodbath all over it. This is gross. I don't like this at all for Richmond. Honestly, is there a rule for like mercy or forfeit?
It has to be, doesn't there?
Just a genuine percentage booster here against the Tigers for the Dons. Mm-hmm. And the Dons just keep getting stronger and stronger. And it's not really like they're beating anyone. They're just getting stronger on the ladder.
Yeah.
So they're looking more and more likely like a top 4 chance with these wins. This will be bad.
There's no scenario in my head now. I've given Richmond a few chances in the earlier rounds, but there's no scenario in my head in which they can win this game now.
It would be so fucking funny if Richmond won.
Wouldn't it?
I only want it for the pure fact that Essendon fans believe so much and this would just derail them fucking heaps.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Bombers just smoke them.
Agreed.
Hawks v Brizzy, good game this one. 3.12, the Hawks are paying at Brisbane $1.37. The line is 16.5. Hawks are playing good footy at the moment. They beat the Dogs there a couple of weeks ago. Don't get excited though, Hawks fans, if you're 7 goals up. We know that that's when you start getting into shaky territory. Like, okay, this is losable now. Don't get excited. Don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Brisbane knocking on the 8 if they win this, as you said. Brisbane are a team that you don't want to play in the finals, but also might not be in the finals. Their season starts now. Can they win? Yes, they can. Knock on the top 8. Brisbane are back. Season start. It's pretty straightforward, this game.
That's such a epic contradiction, isn't it? That you wouldn't want... You're so
wouldn't.
right. There's no way I'd want to play Brisbane in the finals, but they could also not be there at all. It's bizarre.
Imagine you fight so hard to make the finals, especially this year. It's so close. You fight so hard. Your fans are behind you. You finish 5th. You go in the first week. Who are we playing? Oh, Brisbane. Awesome.
Great.
Yeah, great.
How fun.
That's bad. That's
Yeah.
bad. So I think Brisbane will make a real charge for this thing and finish 8th, I reckon.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
They'll win this easily. Here we go. 90,000, you reckon this one?
No, it'll be like 88 or something.
D's v Saints. Ollie reckons it's going to be 90,000 there. D's $1.32, Saints $3.40. The line is 18.5. Now, both teams coming off bad losses. I think that there won't be 90,000 there.
No, I probably would agree with that.
See, the Saints want more MCG games.
Yeah.
That's a horrible idea.
Why?
You can't even get 20,000 to Marvel.
Yeah, but we play better there.
No. Where? The G?
Yeah.
No, you won't get any more G games. You stay at Marvel and enjoy Marvel.
It's punishment.
You deserve the cold,
It is cold.
harsh environment that you guys are playing to
Okay.
and giving your fans.
Can you let us know when we're ready?
Oh, fuck. I probably won't be alive then.
But
You guys
harsh.
I think this now, we said last week the Ds could lose it, and they did lose it. I feel like it's a very similar game here for the Ds. A matchup that you'd think that they'd cover and be able to look after the Saints pretty easily, but also could drop it. Wouldn't surprise me. Be another Melbourne thing to lose this game.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either. I'm looking at the tipper's choice now on the website. I feel like 95% to the Ds is probably a bit harsh, to be honest.
Okay, so that means a lot of people are back in the Ds.
Yeah.
No one's giving you a chance. I think you guys are putting on a better performance. You just can't, both teams just can't score. This will be a 50-54 game, you know?
Look, all I know is, certainly this season, whenever the Saints don't have an expectation on their head, we perform a lot better. So the games that if you cast your mind back, we should have gone out there and beaten the Dogs, because remember the week before that, like, it was ours for the taking at the time. We should have beaten Hawthorn in Tassie. There are all those games. They're the ones we stuff up, it seems like. But you can go down to GMHBA and almost win, and Port Adelaide and Adelaide, and so I don't mind the Saints here.
Okay, well, you've picked them all year, so you're obviously going to pick them regardless of what you said then. Just frauds this year for me, the Saints. Now, I also, in saying all that about St Kilda and what you just said and how I don't think they'll win this game, I find it very hard to pick Melbourne given that we have an ongoing beef with a Melbourne player.
That's true. Is it continuing?
Well, he just makes me very nervous.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it so much,
I know you do.
but I'm scared for him.
We can certainly say no names, but there is someone.
There's a current player on the Melbourne team that we didn't start beef, but they came very hot at us on one of the videos and slid into our messages, and it continued to be borderline abusive. I felt very uncomfortable.
You felt it rattled you when you came into the studio.
I walked into the studio saying something's happened and I don't know how to respond to it. It took me 12 hours to even get back to him.
Yeah.
The first time. So for that reason alone, I'm going to pick the Saints to fuck him over. Yeah. I want him to lose.
And just for context, it's a
big
notable
time.
player.
Yeah, like would never ever leave the team.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Go
This
Saints.
is the same player that invited the D's boys up for a drink at Crown and then charged them for the beer they had.
I didn't know that story, but when you just said it, I can so see it.
Yeah.
I can so see it.
I said, boys, I know we got the Brownlow on. Oh, there you are. Now it's down for a bit. Said, boys, we got the Brownlow on. Those beers you had last night, just transfer that $7. Yeah, Saints win by fucking 100.
Yeah.
Crows v Eagles. Here we fucking go. Harley Reid versus the Crows. One man versus a fucking murder of Crows. Can he do it? Crows $1.19. Eagles $4.70. Line is 27.5. Now, at some point, the footy gods have to look after Adelaide. They just have to reward them for playing good football. The Eagles are also a team that I don't know whether to tip with them or tip against them. Harley Reid just makes this team better. We've glazed him all week. I think we can now stop glazing him. It's probably going to be creepy from everyone's end. I feel like as a league, we're making it a bit weird now.
Yeah, well, we can make it weirder.
Well, it'll get weird on Sunday if he wins this.
Yeah, that's true.
I love what the Eagles are doing. I love that they've turned their season around. I love that Adam Simpson, after the last year where everyone's calling for his head, is now in a good position to be doing this rebuild. He's got the right hammers. He's got the right nails. He's got the right bricks. He's got the right mortar. He's got Harley Reid. That's all you fucking need. And Jake Waterman doesn't get enough credit for what he's doing at the moment. Last year, I think he had an uninterrupted year with maybe a sickness or injury. Come out and just decide he wants to be the best forward in the game. So he's doing amazing things. I love what the Eagles are doing, but I think that the Adelaide have just been so stiff for 3 games, 2 this year. I think that they just get rewarded for their effort here in Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
Sunday Prime, Sunday Graveyard. I think Adelaide win this, but I think the Eagles put up a fight.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like with the Eagles, what we've seen so far is very expected with a team at where they're at, that they're 1 week great, 1 week drop off a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is a little bit of a seesaw with them, which is totally respectable. That's more than fine. So, yeah. Going the Crows for sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Well, that's this our tips there this week. That probably means nothing to you guys out there. So, if you want to follow that, you can. If not, follow us on the feed. Anything else we're going to cover? Here we go.
Are you Are you going to tell the story about what happened yesterday?
Oh,
Or
fuck.
is that
Yeah,
not for
may as
the-
well. I forgot to say that. So yesterday, everyone, I had a little bit of an incident. As I've spoken about before, I have a tendency to shit my pants. And not just like, a little bit, like, it's like I fart and then I'm like, oh my God, that's just like a full bucket of shit in my undies. So yesterday, I got a coffee and I had a sip of coffee as I was driving home, and it was like the coffee sent a direct message to my anus saying, time to go, like straight away. And I had like a grumbling in my stomach, and I went to push out what I thought was a fart, and it was like probably half a litre of shit came out in fluid form. So I'm sitting there in my seat driving home going, oh my God, I've shit my pants. I'm now sitting in it. What do I do? Pull over into a back alley. I take my pants off and I put a towel on around me so I can sit down on the towel and deal with my shit later. I get home and I'm like, you know what? I'll come back and get this. I need to go again. I run to the house. I do my business. When I'm done with the toilet, I walked back out to the car and I was like, oh my God, no. My car keys were locked in the car with my shitty pants. Fucking disaster. I try to find the spare key. Turns out I don't have a spare key. The locksmith gets called. And as he's there, I'm like, I am so sorry, mate, but what you see on the front seats below, on wherever the feet go, that's just my shit in my pants. I'm so sorry. The locksmith had to get my key out of my car, open the door, and when he opened that door, the whiff of shit that he got hit in the face with could kill a fucking small animal. I got some of it behind him. I was like, you don't want to go in there. He opened it to make sure, and it just hit him, and I've never been more embarrassed in my life. I'm a 31-year-old man who's shitting himself and leaving shit in his car. In my wildest dreams, I would never have thought that would have happened.
Did he know you?
I've never met this man in my
Did
life.
he recognise you?
No, thank fucking God. There was a point there where I thought, I'm going to break this fucking window.
I was going to say, I reckon you cop that.
But
and
my
break it.
street is like, there's a lot of families on our street.
Yeah.
And I thought probably me punching the shit out my window isn't a great look, one, for the kids,
Yeah.
and two, for the street vibe. Like, we're trying to be a nice neighbourhood watch. We put each other's bins out. Me on like a random Tuesday just smoking the window isn't a great look for the community.
I reckon once that door was open, what you did was worse to the community than a broken window.
Yeah, probably the only person on the street to...
Fumigate.
I feel like that's probably a thing that most people do though, like would drive and shit themselves. But I wouldn't be the first to do that.
I know. Well, no.
I'd be the first to lock the keys in and leave the shit in there.
Yeah, I would have probably taken it with me. Well, nah, but
No,
I
you
say
wouldn't
that,
have.
yeah,
You would- no, you
you're
wouldn't
right.
have. You
No,
wouldn't
you're
have.
right. In the heat of the moment.
No, you wouldn't have. Not when you can feel
Yeah.
like shit, like and cold. You wouldn't. There's no way you're sitting in it on the drive home, and there's no way once you get home and you need to shit again, you're going, I'll grab this now.
No, that's
you're
true.
out.
No,
you
I
know what it's
agree.
like when you need to poo?
Yep.
It's like, I'm out. I'll deal with everything later.
No, that's true.
So that's how I spent my day yesterday, just dealing with that.
That's so funny.
Not a great day, but hey, live and learn. Lessons learned, bridges burn. So everyone, enjoy your weekend, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is possibly the dumbest podcast football show that we have, but you guys listen every week. You guys buy into the community. You are the community. You're the reason why we do everything, and we love you so much. So thank you. Do you want to say sorry to Adelaide and Freo fans or not? Or
No,
double down?
I tip both of them. I think they're fantastic places and great teams. And for everyone out there, there'll be a few people that'll be texted
Great work.
this
Texted.
weekend. Watch out, Friday
that.
night, someone's being texted.
Love that. All right. See you soon.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.